Good day, everyone. This is Pilot Mules, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drek. How are things going in Barovia?
You know, same old mist, same old crap. It's the same thing every day.
Same thing every day. Summer isn't making things any better.
It is not. Hence why, we haven't had an episode for a while because I suck at life. I apologize for that.
Oh, actually, now I think about it, I suspect the vampires don't like the summer.
Well, not really. You know, the sun
I
and
mean,
all that.
Yeah. A, the sun is higher and brighter than, and B, the old thing about, well, the days are longer. They don't like long days.
This is true. I never thought about that, but you are correct.
Now, I don't know if you remember in the old Dragon magazine, there was a comic strip called Phineas Fingers.
I sort of remember it.
Right. I remember one time in there was a vampire there, and the idea in this one is that vampires actually have different weaknesses that are unique to each of them rather than the one standard model in there.
Oh, interesting.
And what was made is that the vampire that appeared in that one, she said, no, I can't be hurt by sunlight. I mean, that'll mess up my trips to the beach, you know. So
Nice.
Yes. So I can't remember what her weakness was in the end. Probably housework or something like that.
I'll have to look. I have all of the dragons on PDF, so I'll have to go back and look at those and look through those and try to find that comic strip now.
Yeah, but at one point in the series, yes, there was this vampire who very definitely did not mind the sun. So let's head into our game news, where apparently we have the Astral Traveler's Patron's Coffer, and that is a mouthful. And what do you get for it?
That is a mouthful. That is a very long title. And there are 3 different ones, like all the other previous coppers that have been offered. The Superior, the Greater, and the Standard. We'll talk about the Superior first. It's the Superior Astral Traveler's Patron's Copper. I'm going to set you back 7,995 DDO points. What do you get for 8,000 DDO points? How about 30 Astral Traveler account bank slots? 20 Astral Traveler... I am not going to say that every time, by the way. Character bank slots. So you get 30 account bank slots and then 20 character bank slots.
Now, if I'm understanding correctly, the 20 character bank slots is for one character?
That is correct.
Okay.
Whichever character that you apply the...
Actually, no, it's not. It's not when you apply the code. You have to go to the NPC for it.
Right. I stopped myself when I was talking. Yes, this one, when you get it from the store, you have to go talk to an NPC, and then that's when you pick up the things. So whichever character you talk to on that guy first, you can get the character big slots, and that is only going to apply for that character. But all the other stuff, to my knowledge, should be account-wide. So we got the 30 account slots, 20 character bank slots. You get a model Githyanki ship companion certificate. It sounds just like it is. It's a little airship that follows you around.
Yeah, I was surprised because as soon as I applied it and went onto a character, that ship was immediately following me around.
Yeah.
I didn't summon it or anything like that.
Yeah,
it I had before.
Yeah, it automatically the mount we'll talk about here in a second will do that too. It doesn't. You don't automatically. You have to summon it, but that and the companion will automatically be added to your thing. You don't have to click. You know how you used to have to click a little certificate to add them. These will automatically apply. It's like, so if you're familiar with guild airships, this is basically what it is. It's just a little airship that follows you around. It's kind of cool looking. There'll be pictures on the screen if you're watching the YouTube version of this. If you're listening to the podcast version, go over to the website and we have a link. We'll have pictures and all of that fun stuff. Then you're going to get a Solar Flare Glamored Weapon Aura. So it's just a little weapon aura you can apply to any weapon. Then you're going to get the Great Sword, two-handed cosmetic weapon, hence the name. two-handed cosmetic weapon says what it is. Then you also get the plate armor, the plate helm, and the cloak cosmetics. That is the Astral Traveler, of course. Like I said, I'm not saying that every time because it's a mouthful. And then with this particular one, the only one that you're going to get the Drake mount as well. And if you have not seen this mount yet, it is ginormous.
Yeah.
It's
personally, I would prefer it if it looked like a blue dragon rather than a red dragon, but I guess that's
it's a red drake wearing plate armor. It's enormous. Like, I sat on it I was on, can't remember if I was on one of my drows or I was on one of my elf characters. I think it was a drow, but anyway, I could barely see over the top of the thing. Like, it's insane. I can't imagine being a little gnome.
Gnomes are coming. They're coming for you.
Riding on this thing, like, it would be insane. Probably like a gnome or a halfling. You would no.
I think it's scaled.
I wondered. I was gonna try it
because I think I was on my halfling when I was.
Oh, were you? Okay.
When I was testing this out, so I think it's scaled down for based on your race.
But yeah, this thing it's freaking huge. So just remember that. So there you go. That's what you get for your 8,000 DDO points. If you don't want to spend that, how about the Greater Traveler's Patron Coffer, 3,995 DDO points. You get 20 character bank slots, 10 shared bank slots. You do get the little ship companion. You get the solar flare glamored weapon aura. You get the greatsword cosmetic, the plate, the helm, and the cloak cosmetic as well.
So the differences I see there are in 20 account bank slots and the mount.
Correct.
Is there anything else in there?
Looks like that is all. That is the only difference between the two. Besides, you're spending 4,000 versus 8,000. So
okay, so that's 2,000. So it's 2,000. Let's see. I just wonder. I don't know how much 20 account slots usually cost.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I should have looked that up in the store before we started recording. But yeah, so if that's worth the extra 4,000 DDO points to you to get the Drake. There you go. If not, and then if you don't want all of the fun stuff, just some of the fun stuff, you can spend 1,995 DDO points for the standard, and that's going to get you 10 shared account bank slots, the Githyanki Astral Ship Creature Companion, the Solar Flare Glamored Weapon Aura, and then the Astral Traveler's Greatsword Two-Handed Cosmetic. So you don't get the cloak, the armor, the mount. You don't get the account character bank slots either. I'm sorry, the shared with that either.
No, you get the 10 shared. You don't get the individual character for that one character.
Yes. So then again, it lessens the blow. You're only spending 2,000, but you're not getting everything. So I guess it depends how much is this other stuff worth to you. I'm going to make a video of all the stuff. Soon it'll be up on the site. We'll have a video of all this so you can see a video of the mounts, the cosmetics, and all that fun stuff. Just a disclaimer, Standing Stone Games did send us codes for the Superior. So just want to put that out there. So thanks Standing Stone Game for that. We will get a video so we can actually show you what this is like, but that's why we're kind of talking about it now that we have actually seen them in game, because I did apply that code, and the first time I saw that Drake I was like, oh my god, that thing is huge. It's cool, I do like it, but holy crap is it huge. And it's probably not slower than any other mount, but it seems slower to me, but I think that's just because it's so big. It seems like it's running slower.
I have a feeling that's it because I do notice on the tooltip it claims it's the same speed as
Yes,
the other mount.
I checked that right away because when I first hopped on it and like took off, I was like, "This thing is really slow. What's the speed of this?" And then I looked and I'm like, "Okay, it's the same." So I think it's just I don't know if it's like a perception. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a perception thing because I noticed, for example, on characters, at least in Lotro, what happens is that it looks that if you have your Hobbit running at the same speed as as one of the tall folk,
Mm-hmm.
if they're running at the same speed, the Hobbit looks like they're running twice as fast to you because of you just have to move their legs more in order to.
Oh,
go the
gotcha.
same distance.
So if all this stuff sounds like something you want, you got the DDO points to spend on it. Head over into the store through May 19th. Once again, these are available through May 19th. It may or may not ever come back again. They haven't said that it will. They haven't said that it won't. So just keep that in mind. If you want this stuff, I would jump on it now. Because if it comes back, it might be different.
Right. I did notice, for example, that on Lotro, I think one of them actually came back for the first time about a year after it first came out.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember if any of the other Patron Coffers that have been out for DDO have ever came back. I don't think they have. If I'm wrong, shoot us an email or respond over on the video for this, but I don't think any of the other ones have came back. But I have a feeling it'll be monitoring is which one do they think will do well if they brought it back is probably how to make that decision. Right. So once again, 8,000, 4,000, or 2,000 DDO points for the Astral Travelers Patrons Coffer through May 19th over in the DDO store.
And I did hear that in Lotro they are expecting a new Coffer to come out next week for that game too.
Interesting.
So we'll find out whether or not that's true. But Cordovan hinted that the next update is going to be bringing that around.
Interesting. Have to see what kind of giant mount you get in there.
Well, I strongly doubt that we're going to get a giant. I mean, what kind of? Actually, now I think of it, I'm just because in the fall they'll be going to Harad. We're all believing, and we're wondering, are they going? Now, of course, some people are saying giant mount. Hey, how about an elephant?
There you go.
And believe me, there are some people who have been wanting those for years. But I would have a feeling that most likely mount I could think of would be a camel.
Weird, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's appropriate for desert areas.
Well, I'm sure. And Oliphant would be cooler, though.
But Oliphant would be 10 times cooler, yes.
Exactly.
I'm just thinking but on the other, if it's possible that maybe in a Patron Coffer they could have an Oliphant mount. Who knows?
They could.
All right. Then that is what we had for the patrons thing. So let's have a look at the VIP loyalty rewards program, for it is now active.
It is. Last episode of the podcast we did talk about this and talked about all that you get. It's in game now, so go into the Hall of Heroes, talk to the NPC, and you will get your first time sign up bonus of 5 bonus shared account storage slots. So pretty simple. You go into the Hall of Heroes, talk to the NPC. They're like, boom, there you go. You're done.
You know, with all these people you need to speak with in the Hall of Heroes, what we need is a port to the Hall of Heroes.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Because
they can add it to that thing that you get from expansions.
You could, yeah.
You go to all the expansion locations now. I mean, they can add the Ebron Hall of Heroes as one of them. Actually, a map to the Hall of Heroes would also be useful because I try to, am I looking for the Drake today? Am I looking for the VIP one today?
Yeah, there's like four people. If you
Coffers,
there's like
the Patron Coffers one.
Yeah, there's like 4 people in there if you count the Reaper guy that's in there too. So yeah,
the Reaper.
There's a lot of people you talk to in the Hall of Heroes now. So yeah,
I need a map for that place.
So yep. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that, and then you'll get started in on that. And then, of course, next month will be the 500 bonus DDO points you'll get for talking to him. So just remember.
They'll help you just in case you need to make up for all that you spent
Exactly.
on Coffers.
Exactly. You know, makes it a little better for you for that purchase when those points just go poof. Of course, I'm thinking 500 more points. That's a bunch more gold seal hirelings I can buy. So thumbs up.
How much do they each cost?
It depends which one you get. They're not much. They're like 15, 20, somewhere around in there. So it's not bad.
Oh, you mean it depends on...
It depends on the level. Like higher level ones are a little more expensive, but I mean they're not really expensive. That's why that's what I use my points on.
Okay, then let's then go about the Year of the Dragon celebrates May, and what was the May reward this year?
The Create Your Own XP Cache is what it was called, which what it is you go into said Hall of Heroes that we talked about. You talk to the dragon. If you don't own all of the expansion packs, you can pick from one of the following: the Isle of Dread, Fables of the Feywild, Masterminds of Sharn, Menace of the Underdark, Mist of Ravenloft, Shadowfair Conspiracy, or Sinister Secrets of Saltmarsh. So it's basically all of the expansion packs other than Vecna.
All right, and with that, so what wonderful thing do we get for us who have all of them already?
You get a Discovery of Elixir potion. Yay.
Womp womp.
Yay. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a greater Elixir of Discovery. Sorry.
Oh!
Sorry.
Yeah, because and that gives you, what, a better chance of
Getting named loot from chest.
Oh, okay, so it doubles the 0 chance that you have.
Yeah, exactly. I now have a 1% chance. Yes, no. It supposedly for everybody else other than myself, because RNG, will give you a 10% bonus to get the named loot. But yeah, and that lasts 60 minutes. And then if you're in a public area, it pauses. So that's what you get if you already own all the expansion packs. But if you don't own them, you can pick one of the ones that we talked about. I would say if you, let's say you're a new player, you're a brand new player, you just started playing DDO, you don't own any of the expansion packs, you're able to pick one for free, I would probably suggest you get Isle of Dread because of the loot that's in it. The loot is really good at lower levels. I would go Ravenloft as well because of the loot, and the quests are really good too. I would probably stay away from Shadowfell Conspiracy. Not that it's a bad pack, but it's older loot. It's a little bit higher level. It's 19, so if you're a new player, you're probably not going to have a character that high yet anyway.
19?
Yeah, it's 19 on Heroic.
Oh, I guess I always thought it was around 15 or 16.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 16. You're right. 16. Sorry. 16 on Heroic. Yeah. I'm not sure what I was thinking. Then, once again, I would stay away from Menace of the Underdark. It's older loot's not that great anymore. Fun quest pack, though. Don't get me wrong. That's the one that's 19. Underdark is 19. That's what I was thinking of 19. But yeah, I would say out of all the ones that you have to pick from, I would go Isle of Dread or Ravenloft would be my suggestions for you. Just quest-wise, story-wise, loot-wise, that would be my suggestions. I'm sure other people have other suggestions, but those are the two that I would say if you don't own any of these, those are the ones that you should think about getting.
I guess because you'd be good getting through the levels associated with Saltmarsh and Feywild so fast that
yeah, and then again, I'm just thinking like loot wise too, like loot, like how well will the loot last past the level, and the Ravenloft stuff is really good, and the Dread stuff is really good. So that would be my suggestions. you have any suggestions for people, go ahead and let us know. Podcast@ddoplayers.com. I'll respond over on the YouTube video or over on the website, and we will pass that along. But that's what I would say. But yeah, don't forget to go do that. And like I said, if you already own all these, go talk and get your Greater Elixir of Discovery, and hopefully it'll help you get named loot. Because yeah, it doesn't for me, but that's not a shocker to anybody listening to the show right now.
Then let's head to our store sales. What's on sales this week?
Yes, we actually get to talk about store sales, because when we're recording, there's actually time you can go get these sales if you want. It's kind of weird. We usually don't get to talk about store sales anymore. I suck at life from before. On sale through the 16th is the Honor Your Guild sale. It's 25% off Astral Shards, Guild Renown Elixirs, also 50% off the Guild Charters, Guild Airship Beacons. Once again, that is through May 16th. Weekly coupon code this week is a free light spell point potion. You get 10 of those when you use the coupon code SPPOTION10. So it's basically spell point potion. SPPOTION 10, also through May 16th. And that reminds me, I should get some Guild Renown Elixirs, because trying to get the guild up on Canis so we can get a bigger ship, and those Guild Renown Elixirs will help. So I need to go buy some of those while they're on sale. Mental note to myself.
Right, and that concludes the news on the DDO side. So let's go and find out what's coming in from the dungeon. Where there is going to be a new tabletop RPG from Magnetic Press, where we are going to look into the Planet of the Apes.
This is kind of one of those, I'm like, why did this not exist before this? You would think somebody would have done an RPG of this already, but shockingly there was not. Yeah, Planet of the Apes. It's going to bring players into the sci-fi setting the movies made famous. Of course, based on the 1968 original film, it depicts a world where humans are lower beings that are ruled over by the intellectually superior ape. So if you've ever seen the movie, you know what it's about. Players can take on the roles of the chimpanzees seeking scientific pursuits, orangutan state apes armed with diplomatic and political skills, or you can be the guerrilla soldiers sworn to protect the ape city, mute the tribal humans scavenging resources, or find those time-lost astronauts struggling to make sense of the world that has turned on its head. You can even play some mutants, which is kind of weird. That's a little add-on they threw in, because there was no mutants in any of the movies, but okay.
Well, it's always nice to expand a little bit.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Oh, okay. So not even any later movies had anything like that?
It's been a while since I've seen all the movies, but I don't remember any mutants at all in any of the Planet of the Apes movies. Like I said, it has been a while since I watched all the movies, but yeah. Planet of the Apes role-playing game is going to include adventures and locations set in the feature film. You can also explore the remains of the Statue of Liberty, of course, navigate the Ape City, brave the foreboding Forbidden Zone, and explore the mutant Undercity. Oh, there you go. All the mutants are in the Undercity. That's why they were never in the movies.
Ah, okay.
It's a 300-page core rulebook featuring artwork by Bill Says, I'm not going to pronounce his last name. I've heard his name before. He's done art for some other RPGs. I couldn't tell you which right off the top of my head. Also going to include in the starter box is going to be some 3D resin miniatures, because, you got to have miniatures, and some preview adventures. There's going to be a collector set that's going to be up for pre-order. Those are going to have cardstock, some art prints, all the little extras that you pay extra for. There's been no release date announced. More news as we get it. But yeah, Planet of the Apes RPG coming from Magnetic Press.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so the mutants actually appear beneath the Planet of the Apes then.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to.
In fact, because I think that there's this cult beneath there.
I mean, there's a cult, but I don't remember them being mutants. Like I said, it's been a long time since I said.
Okay.
You know, I guess I'm gonna have to go watch that movie later this afternoon because now I'm confused because I don't remember them being mutants. I mean, I knew there's the whole cult down there with the whole nuclear bomb and stuff, but I don't remember them being mutants. But maybe.
It was okay. The movie was made in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
Nuclear bomb waste and mutants were one and the same thing back in.
I mean, that's true.
Yes.
Maybe I'm just spacing it out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is going to be a variant. I should have said this when we were talking about it earlier. It's going to be a variant of West End Games D6 system. So it's going to be a D6 based RPG. So looking forward to checking this out, though, because I'm apparently not a big Planet of the Apes fan. I don't remember the mutants, but here we are.
And we are going to have from Edge Studios an RPG based on Arkham Horror, and this is almost going full circle, isn't it? Because wasn't the original version of Arkham Horror put out by Chaosium, who put out Call of Cthulhu?
Yes. I'm so confused on this because I'm like, do we need another Cthulhu RPG? Question mark. Yeah, Edge Studios is bringing out Arkham Horror. Of course, it's based off of the Arkham Horror series of card games and board games. So it's set in the Arkham Horror universe. I mean, it's still Cthulhu, but yeah, it's just so weird to me. This is coming out in August. It's going to come out with a starter set called The Hungering Abyss. The game is designed to be an introduction to role-playing games, so it's perfect for new players. It's got a complete set of everything you need to play the system, and the system, once again, requires no knowledge of role-playing or Arkham Horror. So if you're a brand new RPG player and you want to go crazy and fight some weird Cthulhu stuff, here's your opportunity. And they do say the scenarios of this can be divided into play 1 or 2 hours each, so you can like split it up.
Okay,
I don't know.
That way only the characters go insane instead of the players.
Exactly. 2 to 6 players plus a game master, of course, and it's using what Edge Studios called a dynamic pool system, which is like any other dice pool system that any other RPG uses. I don't know why they acted like this is like something, they were like, we have this dynamic pool system we're using. Yeah, it's a dice pool system. You can spend the dice by removing them from your pool, or you can re-roll them if you spend enough dice. So it's like every other RPG does this. It's like, this is not earth-shattering here, people, but anyway. Yeah. So there you go. I've never played the Arkham board game or card games. Excuse me. I played the board games a lot, like all of the board games. I love all the board games. So okay, I guess I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I mean, that sounds cool, but it'll be interesting to see how they separate this from Call of Cthulhu, because it's such well known in the Cthulhu mythos RPG space. Like, I mean, let's face it, when you talk about a Cthulhu RPG, you automatically think Call of Cthulhu, because it's the RPG to play for this type of thing. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they differentiate itself. Release date is August 2nd. No MSRP announced for this box set. I'm hopefully going to be able to check it out at Gen Con, because that would be during Gen Con. So my gut is telling me this is going to be available at Gen Con. They would be crazy if they don't have it there.
So I'm wondering if the sample characters are going to be based on characters from the board game.
I would assume, yes, it's going to be the board game characters and card game characters of our Arkham Horror. I would think so, because they would be silly not to do that.
Right, because otherwise they say, okay, what makes it Arkham Horror rather than
Right.
Call of Cthulhu?
Exactly. I'm just interested totally on how they're gonna do this and make this different enough. I don't know. This is just weird to me. When I got this press release, I was just like, huh? Like, why? Yeah, I don't know. I am totally optimistic about this. I'm definitely going to figure out if Edge Studios has a little booth at Gen Con, or they're going to be with somebody, or definitely want to check this out for sure. And
It'd be funny if they're at the Chaosium booth.
yeah, that would be kind of funny. And then definitely talk to them about this because, yeah, I have a lot of questions about this. But there you go. New Arkham Horror RPG coming August 2nd.
That's it for our trip to the dungeon. So now let's see what's on the tabletop. Where the Embracer Group is restructuring Asmodee. This is a shock, right?
Well, sure. What they're doing here, they make it seem like, it's like, oh, we're making 3 different companies. No, they're not. They're taking... What it is Asmodee was bleeding money. They are hurting. They are in debt, like a lot. So what Embracer is doing, which I don't understand how this works. Let me preface that right away. I am not smart enough in the financial world to understand how this works, but they are taking the companies they own, they're restructuring them, they're making 3 separate companies, and then the 2 newer companies they are creating are going to take on some of Asmodee's debt to get better interest rates and to pay it off quicker. Which I guess this is a thing that big businesses do all the time. I mean, it makes no sense to me. But yeah, so Embracer Group is going to create 3 new independently publicly listed companies. They're going to be the Asmodee Group, Coffee Stain and Friends. Yeah, Coffee Stain and Friends. And Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. Asmodee and Coffee Stain are going to be on the NASDAQ Stockholm listing. Middle Earth Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends will remain with the Embracer Group as it's currently listed. So if you are into the stock market, you want to invest in these guys, that's how you do it.
I don't know. Something tells me that investing in Coffee Stain is not going to be a wise investment.
I mean, sure.
I just get the feeling that one of these is going to be turning into a dumping site very quickly.
I'm pretty sure, yes. So Asmodee Group is going to do what it does best. It's going to focus on the tabletop games. That's not going to change. Okay. Coffee Stain is going to be the video game arm. So it's going to be video games for PCs, consoles, and mobile. All the way from indie titles up to AAA games. So if you remember, not too long ago, Embracer bought 2 or 3. We talked about it. It's been quite a while since we talked about it on the show, but Embracer had bought in some video game studios. So basically what they're doing is all those are going to form this Coffee Stain, and then they're going to do that. And then Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends is going to concentrate on AAA gaming for PC and console, with only the games falling under Tomb Raider and Lord of the Rings. So anything Lord of the Rings and Tomb Raider video game-wise is going to be from Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. Hence, Tomb Raider is the friend to Middle Earth, apparently, in that equation. So, yeah, this is just weird to me. But, yeah, So there you go. Like if you understand financial stuff, this probably makes perfect sense to you because, like I said, the Coffee Stain and Friends of Middle Earth Enterprises is going to assume some of Asmodee's debt, and they are going to get better interest rates and stuff on loans. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't understand how I don't understand how any of that works, but it's weird. But there you go.
It's all fiddly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not smart enough to figure that out, but yeah. I just love the name Coffee Stain and Friends, though. That is spot on for a video game company. I kid. Like, that is the dumbest name ever, but anyway. I'm not a multi-millionaire that names companies, apparently, so there you have it.
All right. Then let's then head from this weird, wild, wacky business dealings that we're having and head on to the world of Fallout, where things are really nice and wonderful, right? Anyway, apparently we now have some new miniatures coming out that are related to the TV series.
I mean, financially wonderful right now because of said TV series. Fallout's making a lot of money in video games and tabletop right now because of that Amazon TV show. But yeah, Modifius is going to release a Fallout Miniatures Hollywood Heroes set. It's a special set for the Fallout Wasteland Warfare video game, of course, tied to all the characters from the Amazon Prime show. The box and miniatures are going to use all the TV show imagery, so the models and everything are going to be based off of the TV show characters and not the video game characters. You're going to get 32 millimeter minis for Lucy the Ghoul, Maximus, and CX404. Then you're going to get 3 30 millimeter scenic bases and 1 40 millimeter scenic base, along with an instruction booklet on how to incorporate this into your game. So there you go. Fallout, the TV show, coming to Fallout Wasteland Warfare from Modifius.
And finally for the tabletop, we have the coming of a new 2-player set for Conquest.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about Conquest, but Parabellum did say we got a new 2-player set coming out. It's the Sorcerer Kings, which is the newest faction that they have came out with, versus the City State. This is going to come into retail here pretty soon, just the end of May, so May 31st, not too long for this. It is going to be, once again, I said the Sorcerer Kings versus the City State, and it's going to set you back $189.99. Yeah, but still cheaper than Games Workshop. So, look at it that way.
That's not saying much, though.
Look at it that way. Bright side, cheaper than Games Workshop. This is going to have everything that you need to get some quick start battles going between the Mighty City States and the newest enemies, the Sorcerer Kings. You can also use this in the last argument of Kings as well, or you can use it in the First Blood rules, which I am so happy Parabellum did that. We talked about it a while ago. They basically split Conquest into 2 games. There's the skirmish type First Blood, and then there's the last argument of Kings, which is like a battle army type thing. And all the sets you can use in both games, which is amazing that they did that. So no matter what you have, you can play either one however you want to play. Sorcerer Kings are amazing looking. By the way, I am trying to talk myself not into buying this set. So far I haven't, but we'll see.
It sounds like right now your only hope is that they send you a copy.
That'd be nice. They haven't sent me any copies of anything yet, but we'll see. We'll see. So there you go. New sets coming to Conquest, which is always a good thing. If you haven't looked at Conquest, look at it. It's a fun game. I have so much stuff for it now, though, but it's so good. So good.
It's like, where do you put it? The space.
Yeah, the space. The room of shame, as we've talked about before.
Yes. All right, that's it for what's on the tabletop, but we have stuff on the screen. And to no surprise to anyone else, there's also an entry for Fallout here because apparently there's a bundle to include all 7 games for $25.
Yes, that is a heck of a deal. It's over on Fanatical. If you, for some reason, have been living in, I don't know, a rock, a cave, something, and you're like, I don't have...
In a Fallout shelter?
Yeah, sure. That's even I should have went with that. That would have made more sense. And you don't have any of the Fallout games, here's your opportunity to get them. This does include Fallout 76, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and then Fallout Tactics, and Fallout 2. So it's the complete set of all the Fallout games, $24.99. If you need them, go over to Fanatical now. As of this recording on Saturday, May 11th, you have 7 days left to do this. So you got just a little over a week if you want to jump on this and start playing this along with everybody else that's jumping in and playing it because of the TV show that we talked about.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's I highly recommend all that. I haven't ever played Tactics, but I played all the other ones. Well, other than 76, sort of, kind of, I installed it, but haven't actually played it yet. So technically, I haven't played it yet either. But more on that later.
Well. Then, also we've got is Shadowdark RPG launches on Fantasy Grounds.
Yes, this is so exciting. We've talked about Shadowdark a lot on the show. Of course, that was the wildly popular, successful Kickstarter from last year that brought Shadowdark RPG to life. Now you can play officially on Fantasy Grounds because everything is there. You don't have to build it yourself. I mean, people were kind of playing Shadowdark before on Fantasy Grounds, but they had to develop everything themselves for it. Now it's all here for you. It's so easy to do. You just go on and you buy the Shadowdark bundle on Fantasy Grounds, and you can start hosting games, and you can play Shadowdark. It's got all of the features of the role-playing game. Everything is there, everything you need, all programmed in. 239 monsters, 85 spells, 97 magic items. All 4 of the core classes are there. I'm wondering if some of the other classes that they're adding in, they might add in later. Maybe some DLC you can get. So yeah, go over to Fantasy Grounds to buy this. It is $24.99. I'm sorry, $29.99. If you want to get this. So I am super, super excited about this. I might have to buy this and run my friends through some Shadowdark. I know you're listening, so be ready.
And now we answer the question, what do you do on the 15th anniversary of a fan-made film?
You create an official film.
That's right.
Yeah. Weird. I was waiting to talk to you about this. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum is a new movie, not the fan-made movie that's on YouTube. That's a whole other story. Is officially an official movie. Andy Serkis is coming back to play Gollum. He's also going to help direct. Peter Jackson and all of the guys that did the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films are on board with this too. So it's going to be an official Warner Brothers, Peter Jackson, Andy Serkis movie. We don't know anything about it. Don't know any plot, anything. They haven't said anything about it other than, hey, we're making this. It's coming. Weird. Weird.
Yeah. And I was listening to Corey Olsen yesterday, who I think his reaction is summed up with, why this story?
Yeah. Like, I don't.
He was saying, why not like the story of Helm Hammerhand, which would be a great, cool, epic, movie-makeable one. We get a remake of a fan-made movie.
Yeah, like, I don't... Like, they gotta be doing something different than just remaking the fan-made movie, right?
Well, yeah. They gotta be doing something more than remaking it with a high budget or something.
Like, what can you do with Gollum? I don't understand exactly what you can do with Gollum. Like, it's not like he's trying to think how I want to put this. I mean, everybody knows who Gollum is, like knows like the story. So how can you expand on that? How can you? What I have no idea. This is so bizarre to me, especially that they're doing like a big budget Peter Jackson movie of Gollum. I'm like, really?
I'm just saying, when I hear Peter Jackson in movie,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is just me having a small sample size of his movies or what. When I think of Peter Jackson, I think of a 20-minute high-energy chase scene being mandatory in the course of the movie.
True.
And as I just say, okay, so I'm just saying, oh my goodness gracious, we are going to have Aragorn chasing Gollum 20 minutes through and monster infested Mirkwood, running into everything all over the place in here, and it's going to get higher and higher and higher, and more monsters joining the chasing all the way on. And I'm just wondering, it's going to end with this massive run-in at Dol Guldur and some big epic battle happening as a result of this, with Aragorn facing all 9 of the ring wraiths at the same time as trying to find Gollum.
You know, I think you just wrote the script. Peter Jackson, we found your man.
I was doing that as what I think that Peter Jackson would do.
Which
I wasn't saying it was going to be. I thought it was good.
Oh no, I'm sure that is exactly what it's going to be. Like,
yes.
Like, yeah. If you're into Peter Jackson, one of his very first films, which I think most people don't even know about, was an amazing horror movie that he did. And that's how I knew Peter Jackson. Like, I didn't... When I heard they were first doing the Lord of the Rings movies, and they said it was going to be directed by Peter Jackson, I'm like, no, it can't be the same Peter Jackson. It can't be. And, oh my God, it was. He made a movie called Dead Alive. It's like 91, 92, I think. The plot is the greatest B horror movie plot of all time. This guy's mother gets bitten by a rat monkey.
Rat monkey.
The rat monkey bites his mom, and then she comes back, and then she starts eating people. It's great. It's called Dead Alive. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It is a great horror movie. But that is how I think of Peter Jackson. And then I heard of the whole, Peter Jackson doing the Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, hey, it's got to be a different Peter Jackson, right? Nope, same guy. Watch Dead Alive. It's great. Anyway, yeah, there you go. So everybody that was waiting for the Gollum movie, here's your movie. No time frame when it's going to come out. No more information. Once we get more, we'll talk about it more. But yeah, I was waiting to hear what Pine Leaf's thoughts on this was, since he's the resident Tolkien guy on the podcast.
Anyway, apparently Dead Alive is that movie is called Brain Dead in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Okay, I guess that
it
sums it up.
Highly recommend it, though. Great B horror movie schlock. Like, watch it. If you haven't seen Dead Alive, do yourself a favor. Watch it.
All right. And then Margot Robbie is in talks to star in an Avengelyne comic book movie adaptation.
Yes! Take my money right now. This is one of my favorite comic book series that most people have never heard of. People are like, who the heck is Avengelyne? Yes. Yeah, it's like, no, I bet you could ask 10 people and probably 3 of them might have heard of this comic book series.
That's only if you went to a Comic-Con?
Probably, yes. That would be your best guess, our best way of having people that actually know who this is. Came out in, I want to say, 95. The creator, or co-creator, actually created another little comic book that you might have heard of, Deadpool. So Yeah, Deadpool kind of took over for this guy, but yeah, he did do Avengelyne before that. It was released in May of '95. Actually, I just looked it up. She's a beautiful red-headed fallen angel from God's war host who must live life on Earth and defend mortals and contend with the forces of hell. She was envisioned by the creator as a fallen angel who was cast out of heaven for questioning God's love for humanity. Once on Earth, Avengelyne is stripped of most of her powers and directions until she discovers demons are hiding among humanity and they plan to bring about hell on Earth. To save the world, Avengelyne confronts the demons and becomes humanity's protector. So yeah, Margot Robbie is actually set to star in this, so most people will know her from she was Harley Quinn. So that's, I mean, she's done lots of other stuff, but in the comic book world, Harley Quinn is where you think of Margot Robbie. So she is set to star in this. They haven't said much more about this, other than it's a 7-figure film rights deal to get the film rights out of this little-known comic. So it's going to be a big budget movie. Also, if Robbie signs on, she's going to be an executive producer as well. And she's only going to star in the movie if she likes the script. So who's ever writing the script, you better make it good because I want this movie made, darn it.
Yeah, I've heard that the word executive producer is a very interesting word in the movie industry.
Yeah, to be honest, that really doesn't mean anything other than
It doesn't mean
other than you get a little
anything from being mean anything from being very, very active in the production to just a name put on there for some reason.
Usually, you get your name put on there and you get a couple more zeros on the check. Basically, is
yes, that's
what it boils down to. Yeah,
that's what it boils down to. Yes.
So we will talk more about this as news comes of this movie as well. But I am super excited for this. It better happen.
It better happen.
Been waiting my whole life for this movie.
All right, then let's head into our weekend gaming. Drac, what were you up to?
Well, played with you and Beaker over on Caneth, and we'll let you talk about that. We did do Ravenloft. I will talk about that, but I'll let you talk about the rest of it. And then also on Caneth, Beaker and I did some Ravenloft loot runs. We were running on Elite to try to get some better loot drops. We were running Death House and Old Bone Grinder. I can't think of the actual Fresh Baked Dreams. That's the name of the quest. All I could think of was Old Bone Grinder. We were running that. We ran that 4 or 5 times, just try to get loot. I wanted the gloves and some other stuff. Finally got everything I wanted. I think there was one thing Beaker wanted that he didn't get. So we might have to try again. But yeah. And then on Kyber, did those same Ravenloft loot runs, this time with Saphira and Beavis as well. This time we ran them anywhere between Reaper 1 to Reaper 3. We kind of stuck with 1. We did kind of dabble in 3 just to see if the loot drops would be any better. Really didn't seem to make a difference. But yeah. And then also with Beaker over on Kyber, you can go over, I will link it, his Twitch channel. We did the Cruising with Drac, which we usually do on Friday nights most of the time. We ran Ball to Night on Elite, so we did Gateway to Kyber, Jungle Kyber, and the Prisoner. And then we jumped into the Red Fens, did the Claw of Volcor, ran that on Elite, just to get the Red Fens done and get that sweet loot that drops out of there. Well, I mean, it's not that sweet anymore, but there's some decent loot that drops out of there. Plus, I haven't done the Red Fens in forever either. So that was DDO. And then video game wise, Fallout. Have we talked about Fallout at all? The show? No.
I heard of that game somewhere.
Let's talk about it now. Yeah. And this is totally due to the Amazon Prime show. Like, I watched that show and I was probably second episode in, and I'm like, dang it, I'm reinstalling Fallout 4. Dang it, I'm reinstalling Fallout New Vegas. So yeah. So I haven't installed New Vegas yet, but I installed Fallout 4. Restarted it. Fallout 4, for some reason, I never finished. I don't know why I never finished it, but I realized as I was watching the show, I'm like, I never finished Fallout 4. I want to play Fallout again. So I installed 4. Restarted it, and then I installed Fallout 76. Haven't started it yet. I was kind of avoiding Fallout 76 because when it first launched, I'm sure you know all the nightmare stories about when it launched. It was so buggy. It was horrible. That has all been fixed now, and now it's supposedly a pretty good game. So I installed it. I didn't even load it up yet, so I'm looking forward to taking a little fresh step into Fallout 76. As like I said, I've never played it at all because I avoided it like the plague because of how bad it sucked at launch. But that is now all fixed from what I hear. So Fallout 76, hopefully this week I'll be able to check that out a little more and play some more Fallout 4. But yeah, it's totally the show's fault. I will admit that. Like, I never would have even thought of Fallout until the show. And if you haven't watched the show, do yourself a favor, watch the show. It is freaking amazing. I like binged it all in 2 days. I couldn't stop watching it. I'm like, this is so good. So yes, watch the Fallout show. That is my tip of the week for you. So how about you, Pine Leaf? What were you up to? What did we do? What did you do?
All right, we'll begin with DDO, and there, as you mentioned before, Ravenloft with you and Beaker. We ran Dead House and Fresh Baked Dreams. So I think we're all set to have an invitation to dinner next time we play together.
Yes, we are. See my buddy Strahd.
And then I also had my Artificer / Storm Singer. I've ran the Isle of Dread, where I ran the bulk of them. I think I might have 3 quests I haven't done yet, but I've done the bulk of them. So, of course, the highlights being Bullywugs and Traps, the Fall of the Forbidden Temple, and Whispers of Return, but also several others on them, which are too many to name at the moment. I've reached level 9, so now I am level 5 Artificer, level 4 Storm Singer. I think I've reached everything I want with the Storm Singer, so I'll be continuing on with the Artificer and working on that for my future levels on there. So now I am able to return to Eberron at any time I want to do so. And that's it on the DDO side. Then on tabletop, I've been playing mostly deck builders, Dominion, and Eon's End. And that's it for my week in gaming. If you'd like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. Perhaps you might want to give your opinions on certain things that we've said during this episode. I believe Drac made a couple of requests in there also, right?
No, I did. So email us. Tell me how I'm wrong. I'm used to it by now. It's fine.
Yes, all right. We have 2 podcasts that we have here at Players Alliance on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We record Look Players News and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available.
Wah, wah.
You get choice for our show. You can choice for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight. And this is Pat Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.